we all want to play better golf. In order to play better golf, what you have to do is you have to control your shot shape. And the way you control your shot shape is by first controlling the club face. Most important thing that you can do. And so what I've got here is I've got this shoelace, and you're going to see this. We continue to talk to you about the shoelace. What I've done is I've stretched this out, and it's like a triangle. So I've put one tee down here. This line right here is the square face. That's typically what people will do at address. When you come through the ball, in order for you to hit a cut, I need the face of the golf club to be in what we call an open position. For a right-handed player, it's like this. Now, what the easy way to say it is that the toe is behind the heel. So if I put that down there in that position, the toe of my golf club is behind the heel. When the toe's behind the heel, now all of a sudden I'm going to get a ball that's going to start to the push side, and then it's going to spin to the push side. So I set up square like this. So now I set up square. And now when I come through, now I'm going to focus on that second part of the shoelace past the ball. Club face is going to be open there. Now, what you're going to see is the ball started 2.1 degrees to the right, and then it moved 864 RPMs to the right. So now if you pull up the simulator full, what you're going to see is that golf ball starts to the right of the target, and then it spins to the right of the start line. So the first thing that you have to do in order to control your shot shape is you've got to develop the shot shape. And a shot shape to me is simply the shape of the shot. So that ball has right movement to it. We would call it a fade if it started to the left or to the pull side. This one is where we're doing is we're just starting on page 1. Page 1 is every shot curves to the right, and then it's moving that way, and now I have control over the club face. So we do it again. And the way that you set this shoelace up in order for you to develop this is these two tees are about one golf ball apart right there. So you can see that that's about one golf ball apart. Very simple. The back edge of the golf ball is on the first line, first part of that shoelace. So I'm right there, square. Now, when I come through, I'm making sure that club face is parallel to this second half of the shoelace. And there you go again. Not the contact I had hoped for, but we got a very similar shot shape and pull up that shot shape there for you. You can see, starts to the right, spins to the right. All right, so now I'm a baseball guy, so everything for me is I do it 3 times in a row. So I've got it 2 in a row. Now I got to get a third one. Set it up like that. And now we're going to make sure that we match up to that second one. And there we go again. This one started over to the right about 2.5 degrees. And it ends up pretty close to where that other one ended up. Now, the fun part about this is I now have my shot shape. I've got control over the club face. You go and you look at that front thing again, and what you see with our ball information is this, and this is all you're trying to do. Started to the right, okay, club face is probably a little bit open. Spun to the right, club face is definitely open. Right. Now, what I have to do in order for me to get a fade is I've got to get that ball to start more to the left. Now, how do I do it? Well, there's a couple of different ways you could do it. The simplest way to do it is to simply aim over to the left-hand side. So you take this thing and you set it up. So what we would do is we're going to move this tee over here like this. So now what I have is I've got my aim by moving it over there. Now I have my aim a little bit to the left. That's square right there. Now I'm coming through with that same thing there. So the leading edge is square at address, and then it's open coming through. All I'm doing is I'm aiming to the pull side. So now we see what we ended up getting. So let's come up to the front. And what you can see is, well, that one there started 8.7 degrees left. So I definitely moved my aim over to the left-hand side. And then the spin rate that I got was about 1,000 RPMs to the right. So Gibbsy, if you can pull up the sim full, what you can see is I started that to the left and it moved to the right. So I have my shot shape, and now that's a little bit of a pull fade. So what did I do? I over-aimed to the left. So now what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to move this tee back just a little bit. So now I'm taking some of that left aim out. I still have my piece of pizza in here. I'm just not aiming as far to the left as I did on the last one. And now we go. So now this one starts out to the left-hand side, and now we got a fade. Now I got a ball that's seeking the target the whole way. There's your shot shape. Look at that. That started to the left. It's moving back to the right. Now come on up here to the front, and what we see is I'm no longer way left. I'm only slightly left, 4.5 degrees to the left. That's what I want to do. I want to take some of that left aim out, and then I still got some of that spin, 829 RPMs of right spin. So I got my golf ball to move to the right every single time by looking at what I'm doing with that shoelace. So let me go back to the very beginning so that you get this. You get this set up square. So that line is square. The leading edge is now through the strike in an open position. So I'm square to address, open through the strike. That will give me a ball that will start to the right and curve to the right. And then I take that one tee and I just move it forward just a little bit. So this tee right here, Gibbsy, how about going down the line with a, yeah. So what I'm doing in that is I'm just moving this way and moving this way. And what that does is I still keep the same openness of address and impact. I just change the start line. That's all that happens. So I'm back to square. So now I'm set up more or less at that target in the fairway there, and then I'm going to come through with that club face in a slightly open position to the address. So square, open, starts to the right, curves over to the right-hand side. This one started 1.5 degrees to the right and curved 617 RPMs to the right. This is a very, very simple thing for you to understand. Now, simply put, if I want to hit draws, now we start doing some different things. When I move this tee up, what I do is I set the front tee, the front line, parallel. Okay, so now I put that ball on that first tee, the forward tee, and then this tee that's up on the corner, that's a perfect shot, Gibbsy. So now what I do is I come through there, and then I want my club face, so I start at address here, and then coming through the ball, I want to be parallel there. So I got set up like that, and then I want this club face coming through there like that. So here and there. That was a bad one. So I didn't quite do what I wanted to do. Now what you could tell is I'm much more adept at hitting cuts. That's what I prefer to do. So I got to do a little practice at this. This is just like you. You're going to have to practice. You get out there, you hit some balls, you give some commitment, you put yourself in a situation where you're uncomfortable and you conquer the situation. It's exactly what you do. So in here like this, get that club face to close down from the address position. There we go. So now what I got was I got a left and a left. Here we go. Come on up to the front. And what you see is that ball now started 3.7 to the left, and then it spun over to the left only about 200 RPM. So not a big hook, but I did get a shot shape that's moving from left to left. What I want to do to hit a draw is I want to move it from right to left. That one moved from left to left. So then what you end up doing is you end up setting yourself in a position where all we're going to do now is we're going to take this thing, we're going to move it back over to here. So now I put that ball on the forward line. Now I'm square to that, and then I'm taking that club face. I'm going to close it down. So I'm aiming out to the push side now. Make sure that club face comes through a little bit close to that leading part of the shoelace. How did I do? Pretty straight shot there. Didn't have a ton of left in it. Again, I don't really like to to do that. But what I'm going to get, so come on up here, because this is how we get to the draw. What I got was, I got a 7-2 right. If the club face had been a little bit closed, that probably would have been down 4.5. And then I only got 38 RPMs to the left. I still got left spin, not as much as I need or want, but I still got left spin. So I've got a lot of work to do in this moving the ball into what we would call a draw thing. And here's what I can tell you. It all takes practice. It's all skill development. You have to put in the time. But this shoelace, altering this thing in a different position, is going to get you comfortable with having the club face open or closed relative to the initial address position. And once you're able to do that, once you're able to manipulate this and feel this, now you'll have control over your shot shape. When you have control over your shot shape, now all of a sudden we can start the ball where we want to start the ball. One of the most critical things that you can do is get the ball to start on the line that you want. So get control over the shot shape first, and then get control over the start line. When you start to do that, that's when you're going to improve your game. Quick reminder as well, make sure you share this with your friends, people that you're trying to help play better golf. We all want to try to help people play better golf. Make sure you let them know what we're doing over here on the channel. Tell them to subscribe and follow, and then they will too, like you, get all this information that we're putting out there for you. I appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.